sublevels. So what are their names if there are 5 sublevels? Okay, so I asked you to name sublevels today. What are their names? 5S, 5P, 5D, 5F, and somebody. All right, so how many electrons could go in the S?
2.
And how many could go in P?
6.
And in D?
10.
And in F?
14.
Now, what are they increasing by right there? 4. So what is the 5th one going to have?
18.
18. So if you add them all together, you're going to get 50. Now, the shortcut to that is 2n squared. So 5 squared times 2. 5 squared is what? 25 times 2 is 50. So you get the same answer, you just don't have to do as much work. If you can't remember to use the shortcut 2n squared, it's completely cool to do it the old-fashioned way, the first way I showed you. Okay? Questions about that? All right, number 2. If L equals 3, what is N? It's 4. Okay? Which sublevel is L equals 3? Is it S, P, D, or F? It's an F. So in order to have an F sublevel, S, P, D, F is what? 4. Now, has anybody figured out the relationship for L and N? That's right. N is 1 more than L. It's always 1 more than L. If L is 3, N has to be what? Has to be 4. All right. Given an S sublevel, what are the M values? You have to know. If S is given, its L is 0. Now, what was the most common mistake we talked about the other day? What do people want? That's right. They always think L is 1. So you have to remember L is 0. So if L is 0, the M is 0. Minus 0 to positive 0 is what? 0. All right? If you have L equals minus 2 to positive 2, what's N? 3. Okay? L is equal to what? 2. And what did we just say the relationship was for N? It's 1 more. So N has to be 3. How many electrons are in a px orbital?
2.
2 is the right answer. All of the p's have how many? 6. But in this question, I asked for just what? I asked just about the px. So I'm only asking about that one orbital. So that one orbital has 2 electrons. Okay? How many electrons can N equals 2 hold? 8. It's the same thing as number 1. That's the whole energy level. So you can either say 2n squared, or you can add up 2s and 2p. And what's the shape of the D sublevel? Or lobes. Yeah.
For number 5, like it would be the same if you just said like PY.
Yep, it'd still be 2.
Okay.
Correct.
They're just trying to do that trick, I guess.
I didn't think it was very tricky, but yes. I mean, I guess it's different.
You think more about it since there's an X there.
Yes.
Because there was just a P. But
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. Correct. Anybody else? Question?
Wait, what was answer number 7?
Number 7 would be 4 lobe.
Wait. How many electrons?
And which one?
Number 5.
This one we just talked about.
Now I'm confused because I didn't get 2.
You said would it be the same for PX or PY?
Yeah, but I didn't. Okay, never mind.
What'd you put?
6.
Okay. If it just said P, it would be 6. Okay? Because P would count
All of the pictures.
all of the pictures. It would have PX, it would have PY, and it would have PZ. But if I just ask, this is PX, this is PY, this is PZ. If I just ask about PX, there's how many? 2.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So they're
Yes.
always 2 individually.
They're only 2 individually.
So that's why.
That's why it equals 6.
And
If there's all combined. Okay?
There's
What?
2 in each of the pictures.
There's 2 in each picture, yes.
That's why PX, PY, and PC would all have the same answer, but they wouldn't have the same answer. It's just P.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Anybody else before we talk homework? Anything else on the opening? No? Okay, let's look at the homework questions. See what things are bothering us there. All right. Did everybody have a sheet from yesterday? Anybody not have one because they were absent? Okay. So, number 1. Do we have it out? All right, number 1. What is the L value of the P sublevel? It is 1. Okay, all the sublevels are assigned numbers. S is 0, P is 1. How many orbitals does D have? How many pictures? 5. How many electrons can be in the px orbital now?
2.
2. That's what we just talked about. Px can have 2. All right. How many electrons are allowed in the D sublevel?
10.
10, because each picture could have how many? 2. So 2 times the 5 pictures, that's how we get 10. If n equals 3, how many sublevels can you have?
3.
3. All right. And number 5. Whoops, that's the one we just did. 6. What are the names of the p orbitals? I was going to say, they're on the board behind me. All right. What is the value of the S sublevel? What's the number assigned to it?
0.
0. Okay, that's what that's asking. The value is the number assigned to it. All right. It's the L value. All right. If L equals 2, what are the M values? Yes. All right. If L equals 2, what must N be? 3. Okay. And the reason is SPD is L equals 2. And to have a D, you have to have a minimum number of 3. But remember, it's 1 more. All right. How many orbitals are there if N equals 2?
4.
4 is correct. All right. Because you'd have how many sublevels? What are their names? What are their names if you have N equals 2? 2S and 2P. How many pictures can S have?
1.
How many can P have?
3.
So 1 plus 3 is?
4.
That's how you get 4. All right. Number 11. How many electrons can N equals 4 have?
32.
Okay. How do we get that?
4S, 4D, 4F.
Okay. 4S, 4P, 4D, and 4F. How many go in P? Sorry, I skipped one. S. 2. How many go in P?
6.
And D?
10.
And then F.
14.
So 2 plus 6 plus 10 plus 14. What's the shortcut? 2n squared. Name the 4 quantum numbers.
Principal orbital magnetic spin.
All right. You could have done the shortcut and written, what are their symbols? Some of us did not know this yesterday. I actually gave zeros on the quiz yesterday, believe it or not. There are people who didn't know the names, didn't know any symbols. Okay, yeah, dang. All right. And scarily enough, I told you the questions for the quiz the day before, and I gave out 3 zeros. I will not comment on which class, but there were 3 zeros given. Now, how many orbitals are there if n equals 3?
9.
All right, for those of you who do not know how to get it, how many sublevels are there? 3. Remember, when y'all are trying to answer questions like that, is the energy level, an energy level becomes a sublevel, then you can find the orbital, right? So, if n equals 3, How many sublevels are there?
3.
All right, what are their names?
3.
So now figure out the orbitals. How many are in S? How many pictures? How many pictures in P?
3.
And in D?
5.
So add them up. So how many do we have?
9.
So the answer Allie yelled out was correct. Now, if they asked you electrons, you would just keep going and find the electrons. How many electrons are in S? 2. How many in P?
6.
And how many in D? So you'd add 2, 6, and 10 if they had asked you electrons. Okay, that's the difference. Orbitals, you don't add up the electrons. You don't multiply by 2. All right, number 14. What's the L value of D? What number is assigned to D? 2. All right, what sublevel has an L value of 1? P is correct. What does N have to be if L equals 3?
4.
4. Name the 4 sublevels.
S, P, D, F.
Yes. All right. How many electrons are there if N equals 5? We did this in the opening. 50. What are the M values of the P sublevel?
-1, 0, and 1.
Yes, you have to know that P has a value of 1 and then -1, 0, 1. All right. What are the M values of F? I think we're going to have somebody other than Michaela give that answer. -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Couldn't you hear the answer over there? All right. What are the values of the spin quantum number? Plus or minus a half. How many electrons can F hold?
14.
All right. And what must N be if you have an M of -2 to +2?
3.
3. Because L would be 2, and then N has to be 1 more, which is 3. Questions?
Are these going to be like the type of questions on the quiz?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Over 18.
18 says, if N equals 5, how many electrons? The easiest way to do it is 2N squared. 5 squared is 25 times 2. That's the shortcut. You take the 2 off, it'd just be N squared. What's what? 23 would be N equals 3.
Well, wait, if we have a question like that, we have to put N equals 3 or.
And you just have to tell me
So
3.
are these questions like almost the same as well?
Very similar. Anything else we want to ask? Gonna have Miss Harvey come get your phone tonight. Go get Franco's headband and your phone.
No, he'll be fine.
I told her it was to hold your hair back. I said it was very floppy in your eyes. And she was like, well, I was like, is that a yes or no? She's like, well, I'm not sure.
My thing is, they let girls wear them all the time. Like, I literally saw.
Well, that was the argument we had. She was like, I'm not sure. I was like, she said, I'll go look at it.
They can't let girls wear it and not let boys wear it.
She said it was technically a no, but if it was on my hair, oh, his eyes. Maybe it was a yes. I was like,
If it was on the hair aisle, is that what she
no,
said?
hold it there.
I was gonna say, what?
The hair aisle.
The hair aisle.
So she said she was going to look at it, but she clearly forgot. So I'm going to go with it's okay. Besides, the light blends in. Don't wear the white. It stands out too much. All right. If you will, you need a pencil. That's really all you need today. Pen, pencil, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. We need no more charts, no boards, no reading a chart. It's just, what do you have in your brain? Y'all have stuff in your brains. I know it. I feel confident.
I don't know.
And that's one more.
But I'm not clear on the, you guys have the same. But there's 5 seconds, it's not gonna help.
Don't worry about it.
Over it.
Oh, it's all Serenity's advice.
Fail?
If you fail, you fail. It's the end of the quarter.
Now you're the.
Oh. I told you what was on the quiz yesterday.
Oh.
Hi, Miss Law.
Hi, Michaela.
How are you?
That's your
I'm good. It's Friday. My favorite day of the week.
So much better.
Not Saturday?
Mental attitude.
Because I know I don't have to get up early tomorrow. I don't have to go to work tomorrow. I'm not making dinner tonight. I don't do anything tonight.
Give me 15 minutes for that stuff.
What y'all eat on Fridays?
We eat out. Tomorrow's a crapshoot. I might cook, I might not.
Crab.
Crapshoot. But Fridays, everybody knows Mom does not cook on Fridays. That is not happening. It's a religious holiday.
Every week.
Every week, every Friday. No, we usually go out for something else. Sometimes we'll eat pizza, but. And now that my daughter has her license, sometimes I send them out by themselves. And my husband and I do something different because I'm not eating Zaxby's 24/7 on Friday.
So that's what I'm saying.
Because that's my son's favorite Friday meal.
Right.
But he has a game, but he has a game tonight, so he's got to go play. So I have a Friday night without children. Because I'm not going to see the game.
Why?
He doesn't want me to come see him play, so I'm good with that.
What is he doing?
No, he plays the tuba. He says he's terrible,
Oh. I feel good.
so I'm all right with it.
Where, from West?
Oh, you just tried already.
Shh. Write down what you know. Won't take long.
Oh, yeah.
This is a short one. Hmm?
This one, so is it? And?
Huh?
Is this asking for like them or like the farmers? Like, I don't know.
I won't answer that question.
Oh my God. I'm gonna cry.
You're not going to cry.
Electrons are coming just if I put two answers,
I will mark it wrong. I will not choose. So if you think you have the right answer, leave it and go with it. Remember what I tell people all the time. Go with your first impression unless you know that you have the wrong answer. Okay? That's the best advice I can give you about a quiz or a test. Okay? Go with your first impression with your answer unless you know you're wrong. Don't second guess yourself. What units will you have? No.
Just ask that question. Silly.
There are no units on this quiz. You can just write numbers. How many of us are still working? Okay. Are we done now? Anybody need more time? Really?
Yes. I told you.
All right, you want to write down what you want me to know?
What you mean?
Meaning I'm getting ready to take your paper.
That was good. No,
I should have thrown that paper away, Miss Wall.
Because I'm not going to use it.
There was no rest. Where'd you put it?
In the trash can.
No, why did you do that?
Recycling.
Truthfully, I was too lazy to walk back there.
Truthfully, you could have put
That's just ridiculous.
You shame you to walk to recycling.
Thank you. I mean, I get if it would just been one paper, because like, we really threw a whole stack away. And you know, they get so excited to come get their recycling, so might as well give them to them. Oh. So,
Thank you.
All right. Pass papers to the front.
so
No, they're not.
we might even have to, here in the background, I could have put like bonnet road almost because like you needed to have like the background.
It's just the body.
Included it. And this, I feel like is an effective, like, one of them, like, she effectively appealed to, there's,
Just have to manage it.
effectively appealed to ethos or something because.
I answered all of them. But.
All right. If you will, find your notes. You're going to need a periodic table.
You said mine.
While you're writing out your notes, in Canvas, you're going to find a 16-question quiz. It's due Tuesday at midnight. You have 2 attempts. The time is set at 45 minutes for 16 questions, which is not very long. All right? It's plenty of time to do 16 questions.
Is it like the quantum stuff?
Yes, it's the quantum stuff we've been doing. It's not this stuff, it's the stuff y'all were struggling with on the quantum theory 1 and 2 quiz to give you more practice with that before we take the test at the end of the week next week.
Can I go under those quizzes?
Yeah, if you have a question, I'll be glad to.
Hold up. I know it's the quantum number 2 one.
Yeah, find it. So I know what the question is.
Is that quiz you have Canvas going into this quarter?
Yeah, it's going on this quarter. I will run grades through Tuesday. Okay, so if you're absent anytime between now and Tuesday, and you miss a quiz, you gotta get it made up ASAP, because those grades through Tuesday are going on this current quarter. We'll post grades the following Monday, so that gives you about 2 afternoons next week to get in here and get it made up. Okay, so it's not immediate, so if you're like Elena and you work a lot, you have some opportunity, but you don't have a lot of opportunity to stretch out makeup work. The test will go on next quarter.
On number 8, what determines the color we see when light passes?
Wavelength.
Okay. And
It
then,
doesn't matter if it's visible light or if it's some other type, it's always wavelength.
why do elements have different colors of light and different ones?
Different numbers of electrons, and the electrons are in different locations.
And different.
Oh, you're answering questions on the quiz.
Yeah, two of the answers. Anything else?
You said different number of electrons of what?
Different locations. So if you told me different numbers of electrons but not locations, I gave you half. The two-part answer there. So you only gave me one, I gave you half. The one that says 2.
So you said what was it?
Huh? Shape orbital shape. You could say L or orbital.
Different numbers of electrons or different.
Orientation in space or the number of orbitals.
What are we doing?
We're getting ready to take that on orbital notation.
Location.
We're going to use the rules we wrote down yesterday.
Okay,
So it's the same notes from yesterday. Don't create a new title.
alright.
Anybody else? Questions on the quizzes that I handed back? All right. Add this to your notes from yesterday. Do not start a new title. I mean, if you're going to start a new page, still label it the same way. Okay? Now, I told you yesterday that we were going to learn to write 3 different types of electron configurations. All right? Today, we're going to start with the longest one. We're going to start with orbital notations. They are the longest of the 3, but without doing orbital notations, electron configurations make no sense, and dot diagrams we can't draw correctly. So we have to learn to do orbital notations. Now, after we learn to draw these, and I shorten them to electron configurations, some of y'all are going to be, you made us learn that other crap to do this. Yes, you have to know how to do this. Now, in order to draw an orbital notation, I also have to teach you to read a chart, okay? So, first of all, what is an orbital notation? It's a picture that shows every electron in its individual orbital. Now, this is what makes orbital notation so much longer than the other 2. Orbital notation is going to show, number 1, every single electron in its individual orbital. The other 2 are not going to show every electron. Okay? So if we draw the orbital notation for iron, iron has 26 electrons, so we have to show all 26 electrons in their individual orbital. If we draw lead, which has 82 electrons, we have to show all 82 electrons. The others will not do that. Okay? That's why this is a bit of a pain. Now, in order to draw orbital notations or electron configurations, we have to learn to draw a chart. Okay? Because as atoms increase in size, energy levels begin to overlap onto other energy levels, and sublevels get out of order. Okay? As atoms increase in size, energy levels begin to overlap onto other energy levels, and sublevels get out of order. Now, I have no ability to draw this on the board. A, I have no artistic ability. And B, I can't draw 3-dimensionally. But when you get to the 3rd energy level, we have how many sublevels?
3.
What are their names?
SPD. 3.
Well, the D sublevel is large enough that it begins to overlap on top of the 4th energy level. Okay? The 4th energy level has how many sublevels? What are their names? Those 4D and 4F sublevels begin to overlap on top of the 5th and even the 6th energy level. Okay? So as they overlap on top of those other energy levels, they're not in order the way you would expect. Most of you would say 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and go in that order, right? Well, they don't appear that way. And so we have to be able to read them in the specific order they appear. So we can get that from a chart. You can use the chart as long as you can draw the chart. So this is called the chart of orbital overlap. Now, it's not hard to draw the chart. If you can count from 1 to 7, you can draw the chart.
Okay.
Now, it works best on lined notebook paper. So you're going to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Beside 1 through 7, what is the first sublevel? So you're going to put S's beside all of them. Okay? From there, the second row starts at 2. It really does work better on lined notebook paper.
What number did we go to? 7?
Yep. So 2 through 7. What's the second sublevel? Gonna put P's beside all of these. Now, why do we start at 2? Does P have a 1? No. All right, so the third row is going to start at what? 3, because we can't have a 3D. Sorry, a 2D. And these are all going to have D's. So what will the last row start at? What letters go beside them? Okay. Now, that is the easy part. Okay, drawing the 1 through and the SPDF is the easy part. Now we have to draw in the arrows. Okay? You remind me of that movie what was it called? Parrot Trap. Remember at the end where the lady's trying to get rid of the mountain lions and she's out there by the lake and she's tapping those sticks?
Honestly, you know,
All right, so you have to draw in diagonal arrows. And this is why I said lined notebook paper work best. Because you can't get offline when you draw in your arrows.
the first two have like an arrow.
They're only them. 1S and 2S are only them. Then 2P and 3S. All right, we caught up? I found this is much easier than me having to try to cut and paste that stupid chart. Okay. So, everybody there. Got the chart drawn.
Yes.
All right. So now we're going to practice reading the chart before we try to draw orbital notations. So when we read the chart, where do we start? The top. We read down the diagonal arrow. So once we read down the diagonal arrow, we go to the top of the next diagonal arrow, right? So everybody's good usually with 1S, 2S, 2P, and 3S because we're not out of order yet. 3P, and then what comes next? Now after 4S, what do we have? 3D. If you read across and say 3S, 3P, 3D, you're automatically wrong, okay? What comes after 3P? Read down the diagonals, 3P to 4S. Then you have 3D. We've got an overlap going on. 4P, 5S, and then we have what? 4D, 5P, 6S, and then what comes next? 4F. You've got major overlap between 6S and 4F, okay? Now, all you're going to do is read it in the order it appears. What's wrong, Zyra? You're making funny faces at me. Okay, when you go to read the chart, all you're going to do is read it in the order it appears. So what's the first thing that you read in the arrows? What's at the top of the next arrow? Go to the next arrow and you have what? And then next arrow. Okay, next arrow. Next. You got it. That's all you got to be able to do. Are you with me? Now, because they're not in numerical order the way you would expect, that shows the overlap. That's all I was pointing out. Are you okay? Okay. Now, we're going to talk about orbital notation. Now, orbital notation, I've already told you, shows everything, right? What's the first thing in the chart?
That's what 1S.
So we're going to write 1S. Let's pick an element. Let's do nitrogen. That's a short one.
I thought you were doing
All right?
What?
Tell me what number of electrons nitrogen has. Let's review for a second. So I told you to get your periodic tables out.
How many electrons does nitrogen have?
Yeah.
7.
Okay. 7. Everybody okay with 7? Everybody know how the rest of the class got 7? Anybody not know how we got 7? Because if you can't tell how we got 7, we got a problem. You look up the atomic number. So the atomic number for nitrogen is 7. The little number. Okay, so there's 7 electrons. Are we okay with that? Okay. So the first thing in our chart y'all said was 1S. So we write 1S. Now, the 1 tells the what? What was it?
energy level.
Very good. The energy level. What's the S tell?
Sub-level.
Sub-level.
Oh my gosh, we're
So the next thing is the orbital. We got to show the orbital. How many pictures does S have?
1.
So we're drawing one line above S because it only has one orbital. One picture. What's wrong, Sam?
Correlate with nitrogen?
No, we're going to get electrons for nitrogen. What's wrong, Sam? Sam, what was wrong?
I completely missed everything. We just understood. Sorry.
Nitrogen has 7 electrons, okay, because it has atomic number 7. We got 1S because it's the first thing in the chart. Up there on the board, in the chart, 1S, we wrote 1S. All right, 1 stood for the energy level
Yeah.
that we just learned.
Yeah.
S stands for the sublevel.
Yeah.
All right, Michaela, I'm grabbing this Harvey, come get your phone. All right, the S sublevel has how many pictures?
1.
That's why we drew one line.
Oh.
Okay, you with me?
Yeah.
Now, how many electrons can go in one orbital?
2.
2. So I can only put 2 electrons there. I need homes for how many electrons?
7.
So do I have enough space? No. So I need to go back to my chart and get somebody else. What's the next thing after 1S?
2.
So after I get down here to the bottom, Zyra, that's what we were talking about. At the bottom of 1S, I go back up and I read down and I have what? 2S, right? So I write 2S.
Next to it,
Right next to it.
are we going to use that 1S anymore?
Yeah, I'm coming back to it. All right, so 2S. 2 stands for the what again? Energy level. The S stands for the what? Sublevel. So we got to put in the orbitals. S can have how many pictures or orbitals? One. Does the 2 affect the number of orbitals it can have? No. So I draw one line above.
Wait, we draw that with
That's
the one
a
S.
line?
What's that look like?
I just thought we was doing it.
Yeah, I can make them smaller.
I don't know.
So the one S and the 2 S are together right now.
Yeah. Does that look better?
No.
I'll take that. You know what? It's okay.
I didn't know how to make it look different.
I'm just touching them in the lines, like.
Okay. Now, how many electrons can I put on that line?
2.
Okay, so I now have homes for 2, and 2 more, so I have homes for how many?
4.
I need 7. I'm not done yet. So I go back to my chart. Okay? So right there, I go back to the top, and what do I get next?
2P.
So 2P. Oops. Make it a little smaller there. So it's about the same size for y'all. Alright, so 2P. 2 stands for the what?
Energy level.
P stands for the what?
Sub-level.
I need the orbitals, which are pictures. How many does P have?
3.
So this time I'm drawing 3 lines. Okay?
Oh, not like I thought we
Y'all were stacked on top of each other, didn't you?
Yes.
What can you do?
They don't draw them that way, ever.
Why?
Nobody does. Nobody does. Okay? They just don't. It's all right. They just don't, people. Erase it if you didn't fix it. I didn't have you draw them on ahead of me. Nobody draws it that way.
It only makes sense to stack them on top of each other.
Because if you have 7 sublevels.
Dude, nobody draws it that way.
That's right.
It's not my system. Nobody draws it that way. So now we have enough space for 10 electrons. We only need space for 7. So, according to Aufbau's principle that we learned yesterday, electrons have to fill the lowest energy level possible. So, electron number 1 is going in 1s. Is it full?
No. Yes. Yes.
An arrow represents an electron. That's the way we draw the electrons. We don't write E's, people. We draw arrows. We're not putting a dot. We get to dots when we get to dot diagrams.
It's not full.
It's not full because Zyra's yelling I can put one more. She's correct. Okay, so what do we say about the spin of the electrons?
Negative.
So what does that mean about their spins? They're opposite. So if I represent one up, how am I going to represent the other one as opposite? Down. Okay, so one's got to spin down to represent that negative 1/2 or opposite. Okay? So this was your energy level. This was your sub-level. This was your orbital. And this was your spin. Okay? All 4 quantum numbers are represented. All right? This one is N, L, M, and S. They're all there, which is why this one shows the most detail. Okay? Now, 2 electrons have been represented. We got to keep going. So where is the 3rd electron going?
At 2S.
At 2s. As 2s, is it full?
No.
So where's number 4 going? Down. There's 4 of our 7. Now, number 5 is going where? In 2p. Yesterday in Hund's rule, we said these were degenerate, which means they are of equal energy. This was the rule where I talked about the 3-bedroom house and asked you, did any of you have your own bedrooms or did you have to share? Okay? So electron number 6 comes along and he says, do I want my own room or do I want to share? He wants his own room. So electron number 6 is taking his own room. Okay? Electron number 7 comes along. Does he want to share or does he want his own room? He wants his own room. They're not going to share until they have to. Okay? So, if we have oxygen, let's say I have oxygen. It has 8 electrons. Okay? I'm going to draw exactly what we had back.
What?
I'm just going to show you how it's different. Okay? So we have 7 electrons from nitrogen. Okay? 7 from nitrogen. Number 8 comes along. Now, what happens to number 8? Does he share? Or do we go, oh no, we're going to another level. We're going to build on a new room in the house. We're not sharing a bedroom with you.
We're sharing.
We're sharing. Why?
Because you have to fill all the rooms in the hotel before you go to another level.
That is a fabulous way to say it. Aufbau says the energy level has to be full before you can go to the next level. Is 2P full? No. The floor is not full, so it's so sad, so bad that mom and dad got pregnant. One of you poor children is going to have to share. So number 8 has to share. Yes. So number 8 has to share. If number 9 comes along, what has to happen to number 9? He shares. Number 10 has to do what? Shares. If they have number 11, they'll do what? They'll get another room. But until we get to electron number 11, there's no other rooms. Everybody shares. What? No, technically it does not matter which one you share it with. Convention always goes back to the first room. Okay? But the energy would be the same in any of the rooms. Does that make sense? Can we do one more before I let you try?
Yeah.
All right. Everybody have what they need off this board? Okay.
Does it matter, like, change if we did it down there, then up there?
No. Now, when you draw them, like here, all of the originals have to go up. You can't do up, down, up, down. They all have to go up the same direction or all down the same direction. And then when they come back and fill in, they go the other direction. That does matter. All right, everybody caught up now? Okay. So let's say that we do, I don't know, let's do titanium. All right, how many electrons does titanium have? 22.
Oh my God.
Hey, I didn't give you lead, which has 82. Stop whining.
Oh, we're not gonna do something like that.
Yes.
We gotta draw them all out. That's good.
The orbital notation, yes.
Wow.
Remember, there's 118 elements on the table. I could assign all 118 for homework tonight. It's a stupid assignment. I wouldn't do that. I'm just telling you I could. All right. So titanium has 22. What's the first thing in the chart? 1s. How many lines?
1.
Next in the chart? How many lines? Next in the chart? How many lines?
3.
Next in the chart? How many lines? All right, let's count and see where we're at. How many can go on each line?
2.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Not there yet. What comes after 3s? Back to the top. This is 3s. So back to the top of the next one, and we have what? 3p. And we have how many lines?
3.
Next. How many lines? S has how many? It doesn't matter what's in front of the S. S is always 1. All right, so we have.
Wait, so you always have to complete the line?
No, you don't. I'm just stopping to count arbitrarily to see where we're at. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. We're almost there. We got spots for 20, but we need 22. So we only need one more. Okay, so what comes next? 3D. So see what I mean, Janiyah, that we're stopping here?
Yeah.
Okay.
All these extra lines.
Okay, so 3D. How many lines will D have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as Michaela just said, we're going to have a bunch of extra lines. Okay, because D's not going to need all those arrows. All right, so starting at the beginning, 22. We need how many on S?
2.
So 1 up and 1. 1 up and 1. All right, that gets us to 4. Number 5, 6, and 7 fill singularly. And then, because when they go into multiple orbitals, what do? They fill singularly. And then they do what? Then they go back and pair up. Now 11 goes here and 12 goes there. 13, 14, and 15. Once you understand that that's how they fill, and you know it, if you want to go ahead and pair them, that's fine. The hazard in doing that is when you get down here, I'll show you what people do. All right, 19 and 20. We have 2 more to go. People who always pair, turn around and do this. And as soon as you do this, there is 0 partial credit on the quiz. It's minus 12. Okay, it's an 8-question quiz on Tuesday. There is no partial credit.
Wait,
Okay.
is it an 8-question quiz or?
Now, there's 2 electrons, right? This is 5 bedrooms. Are they going to share?
No.
Number 21 will take his own room. Number 22 will take his own room. Okay? They're not going to share, which is why I cautioned people about automatically pairing everything. All right? That's why I went through and did 3, and then I came back and I did the 3 more. So when I do it on the board in class, people see they fill singularly, and then they pair back up. Okay? I don't go through and do 2, 2, 2. Because if I do that, when I get down here, people are going to do what? 2. Yes, ma'am.
So it only goes up.
It only doubles up if it's a full sublevel. Okay? Who else had a question?
So we don't do anything with those?
Nope. Those are just empty orbitals. I don't have anything on those lines. Can you erase the lines? No. The lines have to be there and they have to be empty. Okay? You think you can do some? Give it a shot? Too bad. All right, you're going to do sulfur for me and leave a little space behind it because when we do dot diagrams, we're going to come back and use these same examples for you to draw the dot diagrams. All right, do sulfur, do germanium, and silver. None of those are terribly long. What you need? You can come borrow one if you need to.
So kind.
Yep. I think the bottom one's oxidation sheet, so I think it's the one above it.
Ew. Laminated.
If you have a question, just bring it to me. I'm just stapling. I have 8 zillion things to staple and punch holes in. Yeah, bring it here. Or just ask me out loud.
Why do you hate it?
I don't hate you. At all. I've been told I just have a RBF all the time. Ask somebody to translate.
Oh.
Good Lord, Franco, if y'all think I hate you, 4th period must really be in bad shape. Yep. I've had really good ones. It's just not one of my better ones.
Have you ever taught AP Chem?
Mm-hmm. It just won't make, which is why we don't offer it. It won't make. Not enough people will sign up for it. I mean, everybody says that. And then you're a senior. And you've got to choose what you want to take. There are easier AP classes to take than AP Chemistry. That's just the reality.
Psychology was only
The only ones I have left that I haven't taken are events,
I'm gonna say Wait, so you have to take a AP class with you?
Oh, no.
No.
It's weird she's teaching like neither of them because they didn't make it. Wait, is someone else teaching an AP? Oh,
She's teaching AP Environmental Science right now. She'd love to teach AP Biology again. Not enough people signed up for it last year, which is why I didn't make this year. All right, we got them done?
No.
That's good. Do the next one. Okay, so you've got 2, 4, 10, 12. There's 13. Okay, so where are you going to put? Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Perfect.
That one will be done now.
Allie, you got them done?
Okay. I have a question.
Hurry up.
So, I need.
Because remember, we're going to use these for our dot diagrams.
Okay, so I need one more arrow, so would I just
Yep,
put it right here?
Correct. And it's much easier to do the dot diagram practice if you already have these drawn. Because your work's already there.
Whoa.
Oh, careful. You're looking like me now.
Where's Jeremy?
Germanium's number 32. Yeah, okay, so now you got to draw your arrows. You got to draw 16. But looks good so far.
Okay.
Princess, you got a question? You want to ask me anything? Got it done. No question asked. Don't have it done. Anything? I promise I don't bite. Yes, my dear. Which where? All right. See how you have 16? You got 2, 4, and this is not full. You only have 3 in it. You want to fill it before you go on to there.
Okay.
Okay. So,
How do you get the number?
what, the 16?
Mm-hmm.
You got that off the periodic table
Yeah.
because that's the atomic number,
arrows.
right? So these arrows are matching the 16.
Mm-hmm.
You with me on that?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure I understand your question when you say what
I'm
number.
confused how to, wait, so we could just say this. This doesn't need it if we just put those arrows to equal 16.
Yeah. So these arrows are going to be 16 because you got 16 as the atomic number. So the arrows have to equal 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got to put in.
7, 8, 9.
Okay. So 6, 7,
Mm-hmm.
8, 9.
10, 11.
This will actually be 10.
Oh.
You counted wrong. There's 10,
10.
11, 12. All right. Get rid of that. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Mm-hmm.
11, 12,
Mm-hmm.
13, 14, 15. So where are we going to put number 16? Because remember, we can't go to 4S until this one's full.
Can we put it right here?
Yep. So you're going to put 1 right there
I think I did it.
and do down.
And so we're done.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Got it, yeah.
Bring it here, princess. Bring it here. Promise I won't bite. I won't even put your paper in the hole puncher. Bring me what you got. Okay, so you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. What comes after 2p? Good. How many lines go above it? Okay.
And then it's just up.
Okay, write 3s
How do I
and do
know
up
if
and down.
it's like that or if it's just one?
Okay, first of all, let's change this. When you look at the periodic table up there on the wall, tell me what the atomic number is.
Oh,
Atomic mass.
that's.
Yeah. What is it? All right, write 16 down. Okay, so you got those, and then write 3s. And how many can you put in 3s?
2.
So up and down. Okay, so there's 12. So we're almost there. We need 4 more. So look up there on the board what comes after 3s. Okay, write 3p.
Okay, how do I know how many?
How many pictures can p have? Three. So you draw 3 lines above it. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we need 4 more. How many lines are above that p? 3. So you drew 3. And we need to put 4 electrons in because you've already got 12, right? So how are the 4 electrons going to go in? This is Hund's rule. Every electron takes its own line, its own bedroom. Okay, so give every electron its own bedroom. All right, and now number 4 comes along. Is this floor of the hotel full? Does every room have 2 in it?
Okay.
Everyone has to have 2 before you can go to the next room.
So,
So that one there, because you're at 15 and you only want to go to 16. Yep. And that's it. Okay, try the next one. Yes, my dear. Did you do the other ones? All right, here's where we went wrong on sulfur. All right, so you got 2, 4, 10, 12. See how you did this? That's 15. All right, and you want 16. So you actually have 17. Okay, because you've got 2, 4. Nope. Why does this one only have 9? You missed one there. Okay, so there's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, so is this level of the hotel full? Okay, since that's not full, we can't go to 4S. Does that make sense? So since this is not full, these have to go, first of all, let's get rid of it. All right, so we're now at 15, and we need 1 more. He's not full, so we're going to put one of them right here and fill it up. Does that make sense? All right, so here you need 32. So you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. That's 5, so that'll be 30. You'll be good here, 32. Okay, so we don't look at that paper eraser off my desk over there. Somewhere close to that pencil thingy. There you go. That way we don't have to waste your eraser. So we don't need any of those. Okay, so when you fill it up and you get, this will be 30. Okay, and you need 32. You're going to put them in 1 by 1 and not pair them up unless you need to. Okay? All right, go give it a shot. Who else has a question for me? Anybody else? You get done?
Yeah.
Okay. 3 on what? On a line? Not on a line. On 3 single lines, yes. You're eating cookies? Breakfast of champions. Breakfast of champions.
Oh, do you want your,
I could have this.
No, because you're getting ready to use it again.
It's white in one period, it's just.
I really don't know what they have. Wait, she said, no, I never.
This is supposed to be.
Question, now that we don't have this, it's just rules.
Oh.
I've been like a chapter.
Where we, it's not on like the whole, I never even had that. I gotta have a real.
Everybody was
Look
like,
at over there.
that was so funny.
Oh,
Savannah was in there?
it's cold.
Had public,
No, crab legs.
all I remember was like that.
I get what you're making those. They don't feel
Kind
it
of,
up.
literally, it was like all new, like, you know.
What'd you say, question?
It was,
Okay, I'm coming over.
I don't know, maybe it's because it was so cold.
Man, we're talking about everything.
That would be hot.
We were just thinking.
All right, they're the first 2. Now, you can tell when I put answers on the board, I don't draw full arrows. I draw half arrows. All right, it's faster. So with sulfur at the top, you have 16. So the 3p has 2 that are paired and 2 that are singles. With germanium down there, 4p, you have 2 that are singles and an empty line. Are we okay with that? Okay. So the last one we need to do is silver. So let me put in a blank page because I don't need the chart to be able to do that. Okay?
This whiteboard is trash. And looking at this board,
Miss Wall, I think you have like the best board.
Mr. Johnson's and Miss Walker's are pretty good too. Because they have new ones.
Oh, Miss Walker got a board now?
Yeah. She has the Avra board, I think.
That just brings me back to freshman year. Right now. Right, it's the freshman board. She's got me messed up.
Did I count right? Is this 9 for silver? It's 9, baby. All right. Questions on silver?
Wait.
You should have 4D and 9 on that one. So 4 paired and 1 single on 4D. All right. Questions about any of the 3? All right. Let's talk about electron configurations. Now, electron configurations are the easiest of the 3 to do. Okay? Now, electron configurations. All right? Only show total electrons in the sub-level. Now, the key here is total electrons in the sublevel. So we're not showing lines. We're not showing arrows. Okay? There will be no lines, no arrows. Okay? So this is a lot less work to draw electron configurations. A whole lot less work. Now, Everybody caught up?
No.
We don't need space for this.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a little space for myself to write.
I like super small, and I don't have that top. Yes. Yeah, we got 3 eggs. I'm sorry. Yes. Dang.
All right, we there now? So let's say we want to do iron. Iron has how many electrons? Has how many? 26. All right, so if we have 26 electrons, and you look at the periodic table, and you come up with that number, we're going to read the chart exactly as written on the board, and we're just going to find the total electrons in the sublevel. So what's the first thing in the chart? How many electrons are in an S sublevel?
2.
You write 2 right there. We've covered that one. What's the next thing in the chart? Really? You can't hold it 12 minutes? Okay, you're burning one of your hall passes. How many electrons can go in S?
You ruined me.
Precious, you owe me detention time during lunch.
See? You said it, you can have it out loud. Well, she was gonna mark it anyway.
Doesn't matter. I was going to check. All right, so we've placed 2 plus 2, which is how many? 4. Put it around your neck, dude. Precious. Around your neck. That way we know it's not, dangling in the toilet. 2 plus 2 is 4. All right. Now, next to the chart, 2p. How many electrons can p hold?
2. Oh, I said, oh.
Can hold how many?
6.
6. Next to the chart after 2p is 3s. S can hold how many? So if we stop for a moment and we count, how many electrons have we placed? 2 plus 2 is,
4.
plus 6 is,
10.
plus 2 is.
12.
Are we at 26?
No.
Keep going.
Is this like the shorthand of it?
No, there's another one called shorthand. We're not there yet. That'll be Monday.
Wait, so how is that shorthand what we just did?
Because we're not drawing lines and arrows.
But this is basically a reflection of the lines and arrows.
It's shorter than what we did. There's another one, though, that's shorter than that.
what's
Elena,
the
do
point
you
of
want me to have your
doing
phone the
the
rest of the day?
No.
Then put it up. All right, so 3s. What's after 3s? 3p. How many go in p? Okay. What comes after 3p? How many go there? All right, let's stop and count again. So we were at 12 here. So 12 plus 6 is, plus 2 is. All right, we're at 20. What comes after 4s? All right, so 3d can hold how many? 20 plus 10 would be 30. We don't want 30. We only want 26. So 20 plus how many more? We're going to write 6. Okay? Because 20 plus 6 will give us the 26.
Okay, so
So
you
you can
can't
change
write
it?
any.
Yes. But you can't exceed what it is. We can make it lower than the D's 10, but could I make it like D11? No, you'd have to write D10 and then go to the next one in the chart and make it lower. Does that make sense? Okay. Yes. Yes, it can be 1 if you need it to be a 1. Okay? Let's do one more. All right, so let's say we do, I don't know, let's do molybdenum. Let's do molybdenum. It's pronounced molybdenum. It's 42. Molybdenum. Molybdenum. But people call it Molly, B, and denim.
I'm telling.
I'm definitely kidding.
Go right ahead. Maybe I can get some OSS.
What's OSS?
Suspended.
Oh, I thought.
I need a break.
No.
Need a break from me?
I need a break from school.
Oh.
Feel like Elena. All right, so what comes first? What comes first? 1S. How many can I put in S?
2.
Okay, what comes next?
2S.
How many can I put in S?
2.
Good. What comes next?
2.
How many can I put there? All right, how many have I placed thus far?
Oh, no.
Not enough. 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10. Elijah's right, not enough. So what comes after 2P? How many can I put in 3S? Next.
3P.
How many can I put in P?
6.
After 3P?
4S.
How many?
2.
After 3S or 4S, sorry? 3D, and I can put,
10.
all right, let's count. 2, 4, 10, 12, 18, 20, 30. Franco's on the money. Okay.
Wait a minute. Where y'all getting little exponent from?
Where are we getting what from?
Little exponent, 8.2.
How many electrons can go in each sublevel? That's why we learned all that quantum number crap I made y'all learn. S can hold how many electrons? 2. P can hold how many electrons? 6. D can hold how many electrons? 10. F can hold how many electrons?
14.
That's why you had to learn all that for this. That's the tie-in. Okay. I didn't just make y'all memorize that for no reason. Okay. So we're at 30. What comes after 3D? 4P. 4P can have how many? 6. All right. Next. 5S is 2. So Franco said 30, 36, 38. We're almost there. What comes after 5S? 4D could have 10, but we don't need 10. So you're going to say what? 4. Questions?
No.
You feel good about that?
Yeah.
All right. All right, we good? All right, rather than, I'll give you that to practice tonight. Rather than doing more of that right now, I want to start a little bit on dot diagrams to show you the difference. We won't have time to finish it. We won't even have homework on dots. All right, to explain the difference. Okay?
Is this a new?
Yep. And to show how it's different.
This is a new set of notes or a new section?
It's still all electron configurations. This is a third type. Okay? Now, dot diagrams are different from orbitals and electron configurations because these only show outer shell electrons. Now, orbital notations and electron configurations showed all the electrons. Okay? Showed every electron they had. Dot diagrams only show outer shell electrons. Okay? So, these will show a maximum of 8 electrons or dots. That's what we're got to talk about. So, if you had element X, you might see something like that. That will be a dot diagram. Okay? It'll have an element symbol, it'll have some dots around it. So, to finish today, what is an inner shell and an outer shell electron? It can be, but it doesn't have to be just the first ring. An outer shell electron is the electron on the outermost or highest energy level. Okay? The highest energy level is the way we're going to think of it. I said outermost ring because most of y'all can picture that in your head. Okay? Now, the inner shell, you're going to love that definition. Inner shell electrons are all electrons not on the outer shell. Okay? So the inner shell may have multiple rings. So if there are 4 rings, how many of them are outer shell? 1. How many of them are inner shell if there are 4 rings? 3 of them are inner shell rings, and you add all those together. So on Monday, we will finish that. You're going to need to write down the examples I want you to do for homework. I'm going to give you 3 of each. Okay?
Outer shell and inner shell?
No. Orbital and electron. All right. I'll go right back.
Or not. I know.
You got it? Anybody else need more time on this? Tell me when you got it, Danielle. Everybody got it? All right, so Orbital Not is what? Orbital notation. And again, just like the ones we did earlier, we're going to use these for dot diagrams. So leave yourself a little bit of space to be able to come back and use them. Not that one. Let's do gallium, chlorine, and I need one more. Lead. Electron configurations. Let's do potassium.
You said chlorine and lead.
So this.
SB. I don't know why I changed colors, but we'll go with it. And iodine. Pictures, I'll have it for website.
Just like. They used to be so weird. Yeah. They used to be so weird. I think you're
And she works with me like on this one. Like I have a recent quiz that missing for like 2 weeks. And I was
Wait.
All right, see you guys. Have a good weekend.